What are we doing today that looks like a pyramid? What are we doing today that looks like Notre Dame Cathedral? Because those were monuments to the maximum of what we could achieve with art and science and architecture in the time. What are the cathedrals that we're building today? What are the important projects that are going to dignify us in 200, 300, and 500 years? People are going to look back and say, look what those guys did. It's an extraordinary thing. And so I'd like business to spend more time thinking about that. I wrote this book, and one of the things I put in this book is, how do you change culture in organizations? Yeah? And one of the ways I've said is through stories. Wouldn't it be great if we had the sort of organization where change was something that was embraced? So this sounds like a fantasy, right? So we've already talked about one way that people resist change is because of habit. It's not that they don't want to. What besides good ideas, what besides recommendations, what besides expertise gets change to happen in the real world?
Often I speak on change. My overarching message is that much of what is currently taught is at best useless and at worst harmful to your organization. Behavioral science offers us ways of changing how people act and not just how they think. When I speak about leadership, it's in the context of digital transformation and the imperative for senior leaders to shape the culture of their organizations, because it's in that cultural soil that employees and teams produce their finest and most innovative work. When I speak about upskilling, it's to help organizations and businesses transform their learning practices away from models and methods which we know produce mixed results. You need ideas on how to learn and engage constantly, and not with what I call spray and pray communications and learning programs. When I speak about business ethics, it's about a new purpose for businesses and how leading businesses become sustainable, economically sustainable in our disruptive times, but also how businesses that focus on the triple bottom line avoid the trap of thinking that investing in people or preserving the planet are part of an economic win-loss calculation. Today's businesses face new ethical dilemmas: free speech, privacy, robotics, and AI. And we need our best thinking to get the best from new tech and avoid the ethical pitfalls.
I don't know a single human being who looks forward to that difficult conversation I have to have with a child, or the difficult conversation I have to have with someone who reports to me, or even worse, the difficult conversation I have to have with my boss. Ethical conversations are always like that. Because when you start talk about values, yeah, they're very precious to us. What we believe in is important. We care about it. That's why it matters. And I think if two business people can't sit down and have a grown-up conversation about issues that matter, where values are at the center, what hope is there for us? So I'd love to contribute to your conference, to your executive retreat, to your strategy session, or your development program. Expect not to be just inspired, but to also be challenged and informed. Expect your team not to be made comfortable, but perhaps to have them made a little uncomfortable. Expect not the same old ideas, but maybe some ideas that you haven't heard before. Ideas that you can use on Monday morning in your leadership or in your organization. So if you're intrigued, please contact me, Paul, at paulgibbons.net. And thank you.